guys. I'm so excited to be sharing with you a little bit more about starting conversations for your new business. Now, I know some of you have had experience. Maybe you had experience and didn't turn out so great, or maybe you have zero experience at all inside this business. What we want you to know is to wipe the slate clean. Everyone be here, be ready, be coachable, and understand that part of this business, a big part of this business, is personal growth with a paycheck. All right. If you are not personally growing, trying new things, trying different techniques, even in this business, then you are going to feel like you quit before you even really get started. All right. So today, what I want to share with you about is specifically having conversations. So, content conversations. You're going to hear that over and over and over again with inside this business. And so just know that if you are utilizing content and social media in a great way to engage, add value, all the things that we know social media can do, then it's going to help you lead to conversations. But even outside of that, I do want you to know that even if you don't have, millions of people commenting or liking on your things, you are going to be confident in how to go and engage with new people. All right. So again, this entire process, y'all, is focused, not frantic. All right. I do not want you going blasting, mass messaging absolutely everyone you know as fast as you know. That is not what we're here to do. But I will tell you, the speed that you're having conversations is the speed that you're going to be able to find your yeses. And so if you're looking at other teammates and you're like, oh my gosh, they have so many yeses, why don't I? Well, the people who start the most conversations have the most success. That's just the end of the day, how this business works. All right. What I also want you to realize is that we are not here to be needy or to beg people to do this with us. It is more about helping them. All right. And they don't know what they don't know unless we put it in front of them and we let them make the decision for ourselves. So please do not commit a suicide and say, oh, you know what? My friend would never be interested. I'm not even going to mention it to her because trust me, I have some experience where that has come back to bite me. All right. So ghosting is normal. That is another thing that I just want to throw out on the table as you're having conversations. There are going to be people who never answer you. There are going to be people that you're going to automatically think, oh gosh, she hates me now. Why did I send that message? Don't take it personal, y'all. They could be sitting at a red light. Their daughter could have the phone. I want you to know that it is a normal part of this business and you will develop that thick skin as you continue to move forward. So, with that being said, again, we are not frantically messaging everyone we possibly can, but we're giving a really good cadence and knowing that honestly, y'all, until you talk to about 200 people, you should not give up. All right. And so I just give you that number so that you're not like, oh, I talked to my first 10 people and they weren't interested, so maybe this isn't for me. That is simply not true. Now, I'm going to go through kind of the process of starting a conversation with you because I know a lot of people are process oriented. And once you get this process down, right, you're going to be able to move forward. Now, with that being said, I want you to know that the first step in this process is actually connecting, starting the conversation, having those engagements with people, right? There are plenty of language examples over in the Boards app. Here's what I'm going to tell you is that there is no perfect language, okay? You have to figure out what sounds best for you so that when someone receives this message from you, they're not like, oh gosh, did a robot swallow grab my friend's phone and send me that message? It needs to sound like you. All right. There is no perfect language. And if you're really struggling on where to get started, go ahead and type something up, use an example, send it to your leader and say, hey, can you help me tweak this a little bit? The big thing is, y'all, you do not want to vomit everything you know about this business on them in the first message. Remember, this is a conversation starter. Okay. You should also be asking a lot of questions. The first message should end with a question, in fact, and you need to just get very curious. Okay. The people that are the most curious will find the most people who have the problems that we can help solve. All right. So I'm going to give you just a couple of examples, but again, I do not want you to hold true to this. Remember, we are looking for business builders. We are at this point in the game. We're not looking for customers. And so most of your conversations should be starting about the business. And so here's just off the cuff something that I've been saying that I wanted to share with you, and that is simply this. I'm on a mission to help other families who love helping others. And honestly, it would be my dream to partner with you in business. Are you open to hearing more about what I'm doing? All right. So you hear, I'm giving her, I'm building her up. I'm letting her know I'd love to partner with her. And then I'm just simply asking a question. Is she even open to hearing more about what I'm doing? Second example is you're so smart and know all things nutraceuticals, peptides, dermatology, for pharmacy, doctor, science, right? Like fill in the blank there. You guys know a lot of really smart people, all right? So call them out on that and say, hey, would you be willing to check something out and give me some feedback on if you would be interested in it or not? Okay? So again, you hear me. I'm asking a question at the end. I am dangling the carrot, letting them know this is available to them, but they get to decide, do they have an interest in it or not? Last example is I know you value health and wellness, so I was curious what you knew about peptides. All right. I'm saying this to all of my gym friends. Okay. All of my friends that I know really take care of themselves. Most of them know about peptides. So if we spark a conversation about, hey, what do you know? Are you using them? Those types of things, we could then move that conversation into, well, would you like to hear more about how I'm going to help bring peptides to the masses? And you could even be in on that too, right? All right, step 2. Once you kind of get their hook, if you will, like, yes, they're interested in hearing more, y'all. Listen, at the end of the day, Justin is our ace. So we're going to have them fill out the general interest form, which is going to have all of the call times for this week available to them. They're going to pick that, and we're going to get them on a Zoom with Justin, all right? He does an amazing job of painting the overall picture of what this is, and he's been talking about it since April. We just learned about it recently. So it's okay if you don't have all the right words. Bring them to the call and let them know they're going to get all of their information there. So that's step 2. Step 3 is you're going to invite them to a debrief afterwards. Your leaders are hosting those for you, or you're going to make a note and you're going to be like, okay, I know my friend Jessica is watching the call Tuesday at 2 p.m. I need to make sure I'm following up with her, all right? And when you follow up, you're going to say something like this. Hey, Jessica, I'm so excited you came and checked it out. I was just curious, do you have any questions that I can answer for you? Or what stuck out to you the most? Or, is there anything specific that you have questions about, right? So you want to make sure that you're following up, but that you are specifically, again, connecting, inviting, and then answering their questions. Number 4 is kind of overcome some of their objections, y'all. You probably are already hearing a lot of them like, hey, why can't I try it first? Hey, I've never done direct sales before. Hey, I don't even know what I'm doing. All of these things. And so what I want you to do is make sure that you're connecting them with your leader, all right? In our business, we have what's called a 3-way connection. And that just simply means it's not just your voice they're hearing someone else's voice. And together, you guys are able to help them. It's not about tag teaming or teaming up on them or anything like that. You guys are just able to help them kind of walk through what their questions are. And really, at the end of the day, say, listen, we're not here to convince anyone of anything. If this is a good fit for you, great. If not, you know what? I want you to have full peace about how you're moving forward. Last but not least, step 5 is follow up. Follow up, follow up, follow up. About 5 to 12 times, y'all, okay? I want you to know it's not okay to just follow up once. If you sent a message and they didn't answer, you should still be following up with them, all right? It should say something like, hey, just making sure my message came through okay. It's totally fine if you're not interested, but I would love to hear from you either way, right? You are trying to get in a dialogue with people, as many people as you can, all right? So the follow-up is key. Even if they watch one Zoom video, they may need to watch multiple Zoom videos. I know I did, right? So make sure that they're on your list. And speaking of, I meant to print off my list. We have a valuable resource. If you've not found that yet, go ask your leader where it is. And your list is vitally important, y'all. It really is. It helps you see who you have talked to, who you haven't, who you need to follow up with, who's actually interested in product or business, and kind of what your next steps are, so that as you're learning this process, you're going to be able to very systematically be like, okay, I need to follow up with this girl. I need to make sure that I am continuing to reach out to new people. So I'm going to continue to add to that list. All right. So again, we cannot fixate on 5 people. All right. Over the course of the next 2 months, if you talk to 200 people, you're going to have your funnel full and you're really going to start generating some people who are very interested. Now, remember, at the end of the day, y'all, if they're not interested, that is not your problem, okay? Do not beg them. Do not take it personally. We are looking for people who are looking for us. But on the flip side, they may be looking for something like this, but they don't know this exists, right? And so this is what you get to do. You get to introduce it to them. And then one day they're going to be like, oh my gosh, Lindsay, thank you so much for telling me about this. This has been a total game changer for my family. And I'm just so grateful that you took the time to reach out. So remember, we are looking to help the dreamers, the builders, the doers, the ones who are ready to make a change. And they may not join you today, this week, this month, or even this year. It may be that you're planting seeds now that come to fruition later on down the journey for you. But what I want you to know is that, again, we are looking for those business builders now. We will turn and shift our focus to focus on product more as that is about to release. But for now, you're looking to assemble your team. Who do you want to do this business with? This is an exciting time for you to go ahead and decide that, all right? Now, instead of getting overwhelmed and thinking, golly, I don't even know, like, how do I even start? What I want you to think about is you and 3 people, all right? If you shared this with 3 people and they were excited about the product and they shared it with 3 people and that continued to duplicate down, I'm going to tell you that you're going to see the power of impact. The service of many leads to greatness, right? And so if you are just one man trying to help all these people, you can only get so far, right? But in a team aspect, if we're all helping people together and we have a system, then we are able to lead to mighty more, much more of an impact, all right? So your call to action is, I first want you to decide, what are you going to commit to doing each day or each week? Like, for example, I'm going to connect with at least 5 people each day, new people each day. Or I'm going to connect with 2 people each week, right? You get to decide that. This is your business, all right? But I'm going to encourage you. What you do right now can really pay off for you in October once this launches, all right? And so it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have to go run a marathon every day for the next 5 years. That's not it. But this pocket of time, y'all, it is so special for us. And so I want you to take advantage. So go ahead and commit to something, share it with your leader, tell her, say, hey, I'm committing to reaching out to 10 new people, 20 new people, 2 new people, whatever that looks like. And then I also want you to jot down some things like, okay, what type of person am I looking to help? All right. I'm looking for the entrepreneur that is not afraid of working hard, but she just needs the right opportunity presented to her. That's who I'm looking to help, all right? You can help that same person, but I need you to write down, who are you looking to help? And then last but not least, I want you to go lead with helping and go connect with at least 5 people as soon as you get off here. This business is about action, guys. We can have information overload. We can try to feel like we have to have all of our I's dotted and all of our T's crossed and know all of the things before we get into action. But the reality is you don't have to do that. We have plenty of people right now on our team. They joined day 1. They already have people on the calls. They already have people on their teams, right? It's happening like this. And so I want to encourage you with that. Now, again, long-term vision. Do not get upset if you do not have a couple of people on your team yet and it's week 1, all right? Promise me, we are not going to do that. We're also not going to commit assume-a-side, okay? That means that you just assume someone's not interested. I want you to go ahead and put it out there, let them tell you no, and when they tell you no, say, hey, thanks, no problem. I just wanted to make sure you knew about this because this is totally going to be a game changer for my family, and if I wasn't willing to share it with other people, who would I be, right? So we want you guys to be confident in your conversations, but also know that you're not really going to get confident until you get into action. It's kind of like riding a bike, right? If you don't actually pedal the bike and practice riding the bike, you're never going to be a confident bike rider. So as awkward and weird as these conversations might feel in the beginning, I want you to commit to doing the hard things, all right? I want you to commit to jumping out of your comfort zone. I want you to commit for your family. Like, what do you want this to be for your family? Right now, you are setting that foundation by starting conversations with people. So go take this process, make it your own. Again, work together with your team, work together with your leader. You're not in this business alone. That's the beauty of this business. That's the beauty of this community. But at the end of the day, no one can push send other than you. And so I need you to go push send at least 5 times, and then you can move on to the next video.